That's good Chardonnay. Welcome to part 2.
Yeah.
So I was in the middle of saying, for people who live in Seattle, some of you may know a place called Lies Donut that I think disappeared around the start of the pandemic. There's a place called DK Donut, not Donut 69, which is what I thought it might be called. And DK Donut has very good donuts and very bad coffee, and also appears to be run by like a Vietnamese family. And it's really fantastic. So I'm happy to have found that place. It's not 24 hours. Lies was 24 hours, but it is open from it's like 6 to 6 or something. Like, it's good hours for a donut place. And I went in there at like 5 and they had a lot of donuts. So it's doing what it's supposed to in the donut world.
I wonder if we do have any 24-hour donut places. I don't think we do. I don't think we have 24-hour of anything. Actually,
we do. Yeah, Winco's 24 hours, and if I walk up, was it called Highland Park or Hyde Park? Mm-hmm. Is it Hyde Park?
Hyde Park, yeah.
Hyde Park has a 24-hour stinker.
Oh, wait, that's a different gas station. Never mind. I was going to ask if it's the one with the dinosaur out front, but that's Sinclair.
No, this is the one that is in the end of the street and across from the place that was selling shave ice in the summer.
Oh, that is where I'm thinking of. They have like a dinosaur outside.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
It's
weird that it's in front of a stinker.
It's a Sinclair gas and stinker store.
Wow. Cool.
Also, if that sounds like nonsense to people who don't live here or haven't been here, it is. Everybody has fucking 1945 like mascots for shit out here, and they're garbage. Also, I found out part of why the Asian influences here, but there's not a whole lot of Asian stores in the downtown area, and apparently they just chased all of the Chinese people and stuff out at one point of this town, and this was a largely Asian town. And if the person I was talking to is correct, which they seem to have some history on it, there used to be a lot of Asian style rooftops and buildings and stuff out here, and they stripped that stuff off of them and then just repainted them. So a lot of those weird sort of old but odd looking buildings in this area were originally buildings that had sort of an Asian flair to them, and those are places where they chased people out of here. So that's cool. That's a fun town history to have. Or more American than most.
I've actually never heard that before.
Yeah, well, it's not
patriotic, but
I will look that up and correct it next week if it happens to be false. But I don't have any reason to believe it is so far. So
yeah, I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Have you spent any time yet in the Basque block?
No, I wanted to, but I want to go there and do it with people. So.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole ton of stuff. I think it's mostly a restaurant. There's a Basque market / deli that I actually haven't been to either, but Jenny has been to a lot of times and she likes it.
We should go to that deli because that sounds interesting.
I bet it's really good. And then there's one, I want to say hotel / museum. It's a really odd building.
Yes.
That is also...
you pointed that out to me when we were walking past it in the summer.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember going there with Evan a long time ago. Mm-hmm. and I was looking to try like Basque cocktails, and one of their Basque cocktails was red wine with Coke. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. It's fine.
That was an early podcast drink. It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing.
Now, if they start doing hot orange juice with gin in it, then we'll talk.
That's slightly more problematic, but
I don't follow.
slightly.
All right. Well,
not every combination is a winner.
Fuck off. I think it's a winner. Just because people who tried it didn't have the stomach for it.
Just because everyone I've made try this thing said it was bad doesn't mean that it's bad.
Nick didn't say it was bad.
What did he say? I don't remember.
He said it was pretty good.
Okay.
And now that I'm here and I've been reminded of it, I can make you try it. So that's a cool thing to have.
I mean, I won't not try it.
Mm-hmm. And it's cold out. It's the perfect time for it.
Yeah. Actually, I bet you could make a pretty good hot orange Powerade gin mixture. I think that would be pretty good. It'd be like hot Tang.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think we need to add Tang to it, is the thing.
I mean, we can get Tang. I think I have Tang at Winco.
Yeah, we should get some Tang, make some mistakes.
I think I would just like to have Tang. Oh, you know what else I have? Speaking of powdered drinks, I still have a bunch of that blue powdered Gatorade in the back of my car.
Yes, I had forgotten about that, but we need to do stuff with that. That is an excellent point.
Much of it. It's really old, though. I don't know if it's good anymore.
I think it's probably fine. Next time I'm behind your car, I'll rub some on my gums and make sure it still works.
Great. You can just walk around with a blue mouth. This needs to be my project in the next couple of weeks as I quit everything. Empty my car. I need to do it.
Yeah, is that the table behind you?
Yeah, that's the bottom of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? The Chardonnay's not very good.
Yeah? You gonna put something in it? Or
I will. Eventually.
I think I'm gonna need to open this cider as like a palate cleanser. I kind of wish I didn't drink all that wine earlier and had that now instead. Beer's just hard to drink.
Yeah. I like a beer, like a tall boy of Rainier that's fairly cold is nice.
I fell into the Trader Joe's trap though, because they have all like the single cans you can just like mix and match. So I wanted to try a bunch of stuff, but I didn't think about it, and now I have just like so much fucking carbonated grain water to drink that I really don't want.
Yeah, now you have a real gauntlet of beer over there to make your way through. But at least you have a podcast to like discover if they're bad or not on.
I could also. Oh fuck! I just opened that.
Yeah.
God damn it.
What were
I was gonna say. Pay at brewing companies on DoorDash, and I could make some decisions.
Ooh. That's dangerous. I didn't know they were on there.
Yeah, they're on there. Actually, a couple weeks ago, I ordered their like grapefruit vodka. I don't know. It wasn't a mule. I don't actually know what that was. It was some sort of grapefruit vodka cocktail, but it was really good. And when I ordered it, wasn't really thinking about what it was, and so I drank all 4 of them in a day. Because it really just tasted like grapefruit like seltzer.
Okay.
And I had the worst fucking hangover the next day. Because they were all like 2 shots or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna get you.
Yeah, it got me pretty good, but they were good.
You gotta, if you're gonna have that much something like that, you gotta follow it up with some whippets to make sure that it smooths over just right.
You know, you really have to balance things out.
Yep.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because my balancing out used to be these, and I can't do them anymore.
You know, that's probably for the best. But
no.
No!
No! That's actually a bit of podcast news, because I think it's been about, it's, like, I quit these after the last one.
Yeah.
Because it was like a New Year's thing, I think.
Yeah, because our last one being like 2 months ago, and it was like 2 months and like 2 days, I think, since our last one. 3 days when this goes up, probably.
So just so everyone knows, I did quit these for a while, and then now I'm trying them again, and I can't. Like, they're not good.
She had to go get crumbs on her socks to even get those ones. So.
I know. I tried them. It's fine for like 2 minutes, and then after that, I'm just like, I hate this.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I should just
smoke again. I'm gonna break into this.
Okay. I'm gonna look at what Paya Brewing Company has for me.
Got this gingerbread snapped.
So good.
I mean, I've had these now. I actually was saving this one because the first grocery trip that we did when I was staying at your place after or before New Year's, actually, the night before, I think, when we went to the store, I got a 12-pack of these and saved one.
Yeah.
And it's still good. They haters are gonna say that this tastes bad, but we know the truth.
Haters might even say it tastes like a candle, but they would be fucking wrong.
Very wrong
and
on this one.
Fuck off, because they're wrong. We should we should talk about the debacle that was the first week of the new year.
Yeah.
Because it was so fun. So I think we have some sort of curse between the two of us about COVID happening around us.
So I think we both have bad luck happen to those around us, and it just kind of intensifies. Because we both came out negative in this. Like, neither of us had.
I mean, eventually I did, yes.
Eventually, sure.
Yeah. We all hung out on New Year's Eve.
Uh-huh.
And played like a soju drinking game, or that's what, yeah.
Well, so we played what was it? It was called like Royal something, or the game is you are basically just playing a slightly more complex version of Go Fish, mixed with like speed, but the winner each round gets to make new rules to make it less pleasant, and the loser
just gets fucking drunk.
Or if you're me and you're the loser every turn, then there's a rule made where I have to do everything you do and everything I have to do, and then I drink just a fuck ton because of it.
That was... Who made that rule again?
Chase? Is that his name?
Yeah. He must... Yeah. The tether rule? I thought that was your rule.
Fuck no. I only made excellent rules, and
that's true. You made the manners but sexy rule.
I I made the it has to be sexy rule, and I made the aces don't count anymore. They're all queens, which
Jesus Christ.
I had to do. I had to do something to make it, because the upside, the upside to me not getting hit as hard by alcohol is that if I am in a group of people who are all having to drink, then I can use that to my advantage enough to like start making it harder for them to like figure out what they're doing. And it worked. I got to be the king because of it.
Yeah.
But it took a while to get there. We played like 12 rounds of that shit.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I was not good at that game.
It's true. But you were good at pouring soju into cups and onto that table. So I respect that.
Somebody's got to do it. I am ordering a 4-pack of their Payette Brewing Company's Moscow Mules, because that is their #1 bestseller.
That sounds really good.
So we'll see how that goes.
If they are as good as they sound, I would kind of like to try one.
Right, I will reserve some for you.
We have some dark work that we need to do prior to the next podcast. We could use it for that. So,
yeah,
if we need to order more, we can.
I don't think I've ever been there in person, but it would be interesting to go there in person. We could always just load up that way.
Yeah.
Also, Your Iced Coffee reminded me of, I got Taco Bell breakfast this morning.
I'm jealous of that.
Except I rolled up to Taco Bell and they were like, what the fuck did she say? She said something was broken, and so they couldn't do breakfast for another 30-something minutes, and so they were just doing the regular menu. And this was
bullshit.
At like, super bullshit. This was at like 9:15 in the morning.
How am I supposed to eat this if it doesn't have a fucking egg fist in it?
No egg, no like hash brown. I really wanted the breakfast crunch wrap because those are really fucking good.
I want one now after you mentioning it.
I don't know why Taco Bell doesn't do breakfast all the time.
Yeah, those breakfast crunch wraps are fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're so good. And like the little cinnamon things. But anyway, two things. Taco Bell has added a Chipotle Ranch grilled chicken burrito to their value menu. It's $2 and it's really fucking good. And it has those like little tortilla strip things in it.
Yeah.
That are very nice.
Sounds excellent.
Yeah. So I just got that and then like a cheesy gordita crunch or something. But this coffee that I got from there was the most watery, horrible. Like usually if I'm getting Taco Bell breakfast, I know that their coffee's not going to be like amazing. I don't get a nice coffee anyway. But it like upon being handed to me had like 5 ice cubes in it. And just kind of had like a thin layer of water at the top. Like it was, I think it had already melted quite a bit. It was questionable.
That's what you want, is to have a coffee come to you as though it is a like very watered down drink at a bar.
Yeah,
shitty.
It wasn't the best, but I wasn't totally upset that they were doing the normal menu at least.
I mean, I can eat a lot of things at a Taco Bell, so.
Yeah.
And I will.
I'll fucking do it.
I'll goddamn do it too.
Fucking do it again. But
All
right.
Yes.
I'm gonna mix the boatswain and the cider.
I want to see it happen.
Also, did you ever watch Disenchanted? Ooh.
Oh, that's the Netflix show.
Yeah.
I still haven't. Somebody made me a character from it, like they handmade a little version of one. I've had it recommended to me by like 4 different people.
Which character?
It's like a little guy in a jar, I think.
Oh, Lucy.
And then
Yeah.
I still have that thing. I like it.
That character is voiced by Eric Andre.
Oh, nice.
Who is getting into the NFT game.
Yeah, that's going to be a big chunk of this podcast, so I hope people like NFTs. Anyway, yeah, I've been meaning to watch it, but something about, so I watched a lot of Futurama at one point, and enjoyed it. I never watched the ending movies or whatever, but I kind of got the gist of it. There's something about that style of cartoon that I have to be in very much the right mood for. It's a little bit cloying, and like the things that I like in adult cartoons and stuff are almost always the same parts of my brain that like a lot of the video games that I like. So I think it's just too much. Like I like video games, but I'm not going to spend like my whole day with that kind of media. Once I'm done with like playing video games or like watching, because I watch like some anime. I kind of keep up on like what the new things are a little bit, and there's a limit to that stuff. Like I can't do that all the time, or I get burnt out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's understandable.
But I am interested in watching it. I just need to find a good space for it.
Sorry, I'm getting like a billion texts from DoorDash. I know. That was very fast.
Yeah, you gotta take care of that. I don't want you to miss out on this stuff.
Oh my god, they're already almost here. What the fuck?
I guess nobody has to prepare it. That's the thing. So, lady friend got me turned on to GoPuff, and out here I used it, and it's dope.
Was when you ordered stuff when I was over there? Was that the first time?
That was the first. Yeah,
that was really fast.
It was like 15 minutes, and it was at like 12:30 or 1 in the morning, and it was just here. It was great. And I got coffees and like some snacks, but it looks like they have alcohol on there, depending on what you're looking for. I'm actually gonna jump in there and look real quick because, given that Idaho isn't quite the same, I'm curious. I'm curious what they actually offer here.
I need to download GoPuff.
Well, when we hang out, you should use that little QR code thing that I got, because I think it gives you like some money or something. Because I got that. Thanks for using it. You should tell a friend about it and have them scan this. Oh, GoPuff has COVID tests.
What brand?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh shit.
They're $23.99, and they are CareStart antigen tests. So you can GoPuff some COVID tests to your house for when, like me, you can't have COVID tests because you live with other people. So that's cool. our household of 4 different people and technically 4 different households was allowed to get 4 tests, but I think Mark got tests for him and Jenny before they even fully told everybody about that, and then we found out that all of those tests were the ones they got, so now none of us can get tests. It's a fucking mess. I'm glad that we beat it, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm really glad that it's over based on how poorly, things would run. If it wasn't, I gotta go locate my ID because they're arriving.
Oh, yeah, go do that. All right. Well, she's gone. So, GoPuff out here offers. I might do this now that I can take baths and the bath is like clean and everything. I can get Epsom salt brought here, lavender scented, for $6. I can get a bunch of different kinds of gushers and batteries. I don't know. This is like sort of a great option because unlike food, which is something that if I'm being like more up to date, goddamn, if I'm being more like conscientious of stuff, I will get food for like a decent amount of time and decently like storable, which I generally am doing. But every once in a while, like I'll have a chunk of days where like I have a little extra money and I just want like something. I think it is way more reasonable in the end to use GoPuff, where it's just like getting stuff from like prepackaged stores and stuff. Not that I think you shouldn't give money to restaurants, because I do want them to have that option, but like if you're going to be paying a slight surcharge to like pay into somebody going by and like dropping a bag off, I just feel better in general about this. Now I'm sure we'll find out that like the GoPuff CEO like kills dogs or something in the near future. It's living in a capitalist society for you, but like in terms of the things that you can get on these kinds of like apps, this is really like one of the better ones. I'm anxious to try those drinks that she's getting. Let's see. I'm gonna guess I cannot get alcohol out here. Oh. Well. No, I can get some. I can't get hard alcohols, but I can get like Trulies, and I can get gas station alcohol is what this is. I could for $16 I can get a 30 pack of 12-ounce Natty Lights. That's a cheap suicide pact. Ugh. Those June Shine things are okay. I got one of those and almost used it for this podcast, but like it wasn't great, and I wanted to try it, and I didn't want to like end up pretending that I hadn't tried it for the podcast or something, which alcohol especially, like those kinds of things I want to like give a shot when I'm on here and not just like, hey, here's an alcohol I have. Like I've never had this Smirnoff screwdriver. I'm going to get into that in a second. Mission accomplished.
They're here. Ugh.
What ounces are they?
These are 12.
Nice. Okay. That's a good size for a Moscow Mule kind of thing.
Yeah. 10%.
Oh, that reminds me. We got to see Daniel came down here, and the four of us and Jenny went through here's some music videos we want to have other people see for like a little, like everybody I think did like two or three, and the theming was like weird-ish music videos. Found out that Mark knows all the words to Moscow, and got to hear Mark sing in German and Matt sing in Polish, so that was pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
I think I mostly just showed people stuff from like China and Japan, and Germany. I played Luftbahn because that's a masterpiece of a music video. But yeah, got some good music tastes in the household.
That would be a fun night to do as a music video night, and then everyone just queues up like 3.
Absolutely.
I would love to make people sit through my Russian pop love interest.
Your Russian pop would be right at home with the stuff that they were playing here.
Yeah.
This household is like halfway to Russian pop already. The Polish stuff we were watching was just like, that's some Polish ass shit.
Was it pop that he was playing?
Yeah, it was like early thousands Polish pop, I think. And then it looks like it was shot on a mid 80s film. It was very good. Yeah. Some Polish ass boys in that fucking video too. God damn. Looked like some people that would be in my dad's family reunion. It's like, that's a Polish dude right there.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I feel under-languaged. Like I know a tiny bit of Chinese, a tiny bit of Spanish, and like some bits of Japanese, and I feel like other people in this household can speak other fucking languages, which, you know.
I'm pretty jealous of people who can just do that very naturally.
I'm used to being uncultured swine, but it's more noticeable here.
Well, I think that's on the spectrum of uncultured swine. I don't think you generally fall on anywhere really on there at all. Even if you don't know other languages, I think just even make. Is that a peach one or orange?
No, this is a screwdriver, and it's fucking delicious. This is a problem.
I'm really jealous.
I will get you one for the next time you're here. This is fantastic.
Okay, yeah, that would be a problem. Is that like the size of a chelada?
It's a 1 pint, but it's only 8%. It's not like super alcoholic. It's not the size of a chelada. I think those are the size of like the larger glasses, but I forget what those. It's chelada are basically a 2 pint. This is a 1.
Right.
Okay. But yeah, we will get these, especially if actually this would be perfect because that stuff I have to smoke is like it basically smells and tastes like the woods, and this would go perfect.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be a good combination. Let's see.
Also, I'm making a reservation now. Between this podcast and the next one, we really need to watch that movie because I keep hearing shit that's like, this is terrible. Yeah. Well, you've said it on the podcast now, so it's harder to back out. Is it good?
Okay.
That's their most popular thing?
I don't like it. Yeah. Was I supposed to shake this?
Oh, try pouring it into the wine glass. Maybe it'll mix better or something.
All right. Well, I have something to do.
if nothing else, you can like amend it with something. God, you're really in drink hell right now.
All of the mixtures that I've made, with the exception of surprisingly, the stout and the boatswain together were fine and good. But the boatswain and the cider with a touch of Powerade, not good. Just so everyone knows.
Okay, I'll take that under advisement.
Cough drop. This is like drinking a cup of fucking Halls.
Speaking of cough drops, let me get into this action real quick.
Everything tastes bad now.
I'm sorry. That's a bad place to be in.
I need to like pour this into something else.
But for the moment, I'm gonna need you to view this. Yeah.
That looks horrible.
Yeah. Anyway.
Like a cotton candy fleshlight.
I mean, it kind of looks like this. Hey, if you really, really like cotton candy, I got a product for you. That doesn't help. That doesn't help at all.
No, that's worse. That's worse.
All right.
We're gonna get demonetized. What are you doing?
Hey, I'm not gonna go against our sponsors.
Cotton candy fleshlights. Oh no! This is bad hiccups.
Okay, yeah. I mean, this cotton candy's good. It's just, it does taste a little like cough drops, but you know, that's to be expected.
I'm surprised it doesn't taste more because it's cherry flavor. I put the mule into this tiny cup that I had. We'll see if it's still just like does not smell right.
So what's the deal with it? Why is it wrong? Because a mule should be very gingery, right?
I think maybe that's the problem. Like normally I like gingery, but for some reason right now it's not doing it for me. I think it's fine. I think just like after this, it's tasting extra because this tastes like a very herbal, nasty cough drop.
Yeah.
And that right after this really compounds the really nasty herbal cough drop flavor. So that might be it. Maybe I should just combine both of these. Just go full cough drop on this.
The old treating drinking like you're at the fucking movie theater.
I am?
Yeah. Just pour everything together. So being at a movie theater in like the early thousands, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It's not so much how it works anymore.
No, it isn't.
It's really not good.
Man, that's hard to see.
I'm the worst kind of person to really enjoy drinking because I feel like I don't make it easy on myself either. Like I'll pick the worst things to drink a lot of.
Yeah.
Instead of drinking a bunch of something that's like easy to drink.
I haven't noticed.
No. And I definitely don't think you have had any influence on that at all whatsoever.
Influence is a harsh word to use.
Yeah.
I'm not a bad influence.
I didn't say that.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to tell you about some assholes real quick.
All right. Asshole corner?
Yeah. So, this is actually a callback. What villain of the podcast do you think recently had an article go up on Fox News?
what villain of the
Yeah.
podcast? There's so many to pick from. Alex Jones.
One more guess. That's a good guess though.
Tucker Carlson.
Subway. Subway. Fox News from January 28th. Subway responds to fake tuna lawsuit. No truth in the allegations.
Oh my God! Finally.
Now this headline also not accurate. There has not been any announcement that these are fake lawsuits. Like, it is a very real lawsuit against Subway. And also, no truth to the allegations is assuming that Subway's telling the truth. This is like a fluff piece for Subway in Fox News, like in their newsfeed for their website. So Subway has just decided to go lowest common denominator, slide into the unpaid sites, which is, like, for people who don't know, that's why Fox News is so big, is they don't have a paywall for anything. And there's like a full 2.5-minute TV section they did on it, all like a week and a half ago, talking about, I can't believe people are doing this to Subway, in which they said, Subway is saying that something stinks about the lawsuit, accusing it of using no tuna in tuna sandwiches. The Milford, Connecticut-based Subway chain sent out a fresh response to the lawsuit Thursday afternoon. It's bad writers at Fox. Calling the suit a reckless and improper attack, and alleging that the case is just a way for lawyers to get their name out. I don't know who the fuck is getting their name out there by being the lawyer against Subway. Fuck.
I really don't feel like if I were a lawyer and I was like, I want to be famous, I want my name on something big. I don't. The Subway tuna sandwich case would be the one I would pick to go in on.
People are going to know that I'm willing to even go to bat for people saying that tuna isn't real. So put me on your case, everybody.
I literally have no standards.
Subway responds, there is simply no truth to the allegations in the complaint that was filed in California. Subway said in its written statement, Subway delivers 100% cooked tuna to its restaurants, which is mixed with mayonnaise and used in freshly made sandwiches, wraps, and salads that are served and enjoyed by our guests.
Yeah.
Also, there's a mid-headline of them, like, recapping the story that's Subway accused of selling fake tuna in foot-long fraud lawsuit. Again, whoever's doing copy at Fox, give me the money. I don't really want to work for Fox, but I could do a fuck of a lot better than this. The lawsuit alleges the opposite. The complaint states that lab tests of samples from California Subway restaurants showed that the tuna, in quotes, was actually a mixture of various concoctions that do not constitute tuna, yet have been blended together by the defendants to imitate the appearance of tuna.
Wait,
as reported.
Say what it is?
No, as reported by the Washington Post. I think so. This lawsuit has not been resolved yet. So I think the whole point is that because this lawsuit hasn't been resolved legally, no one can say what the allegations towards the tuna are, which is why I think Subway is getting out there constantly and being like, it's just tuna, like all the time, because if they keep telling people it's tuna and people keep buying it, then maybe it'll just wash away and they can like just ignore it when the actual allegations come out, which to me, the fact that they didn't just go like, yeah, let's go through the thing and like, then we can say legally it's really tuna.
Right.
They didn't do that. They haven't done that. It's been since like pre-pandemic. They've been doing this for years. It's not fucking tuna. I'm sorry to say to anybody who's like a big Subway fan and loves the tuna. That's one of the only sandwiches I got there because I don't like Subway, and that's the only thing that I could think of in the very few times I've been there. It's not tuna. Like, if you look at any of the writing on the wall for this shit, it's definitely not tuna.
What possibly can it be, though? To imitate, like, I guess I haven't had Subway tuna, so I don't know how well it imitates the texture.
So unfortunately, so I watched a documentary years and years ago that touched on how people were making fake panties in Japan. I know it's a long walk, but like...
Fake panties?
Fake used panties in Japan.
Oh, okay.
So one of the things that they did is they combined a bunch of like perfumes and like soybean oils and stuff to make smells that would match what people wanted on these fake panties. It sounds like the worst job ever, or maybe the best job. I don't know. It's weird.
Depends.
Anyway, yeah, depends on how nasty you be. But like also I just imagine like the disillusioned father who works that job going home and smoking, just being like, it's another rough day out there. They say I'm a genius, but I don't feel like one. Anyway, so
they call me a hero.
Yeah, they call me a hero. Anyway, so that's what I first thought of, though, because like in this documentary, they were talking to people who did that stuff, and they were specifically talking about like imitating fish smells and things like that, because that's what people expected. And like all judgments aside on like their work, the point is, I know that that kind of stuff has been happening for a long time. Like people are always looking for like making a fake something. And it would make total sense because tuna's cheap, but bulk fish is going to cost money because you're going to have to ship it from places. And like fish is heavy, fish is like accessible, but like not everywhere. And Subway is everywhere. So like it totally makes sense that they would then make like a weird, and this is coming from real stuff, not like speculation. Their bread, they already did this with, where they use the same chemical that they use for yoga mats to make like that weird bread that's like fresh for a long time and like foamy. I have no doubt they would do that shit with the tuna, because like tuna's not going to last that long. It's not going to ship as well as some other things. And like if you want to make it in like different locations, you could make something with chemicals easier, even if it has some tuna in it. But based on the allegations that said it's anything but tuna, I'm going to say it's probably not tuna. It could be like
a very intentional use of words.
Yeah, and it totally, like, from what I heard, it's mostly not fish, just from the way people were talking about it, but it could be like some kind of river fish or something that they're making like tuna.
Like a catfish.
Like a catfish. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's like trout or something, or some kind of thing that's like accessible in like more areas and inland areas. Just
but so if it were still actually a fish, I don't feel like they would be pushing this hard.
I don't think it's fish. Yeah.
Because I mean, like that's not even that bad. Like everyone, didn't that happen to McDonald's a while ago? Because they used to have a bunch of ads about how like our Filet-O-Fish was from Alaska or something, and they found out it was like some other shit fish. I don't know, but.
Yeah, it's like, wild caught Alaskan tilapia or some shit. And that's like,
delicious.
Sorry.
It's actual catfish from McCall, I know.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because Filet-O-Fishes taste fine. And I don't partake in the Subway tuna, but I'm sure it's fine. But there's no way that it's actual fish if they're going to these lengths.
No. Anyway.
I want to be in a lab where they grow that big fish.
Absolutely. I want to see what they're doing to us.
They're holding out on us, really, because we could be making... I mean, think of the possibilities. We could be having, like, for the vegetarian vegans who don't believe in murdering fish, we could have fish substitutes.
Absolutely. And I know that they have like those fully fake chicken nuggets that are like pretty popular now. Like they have things that are like fast food ones they can make.
Yeah.
They have stuff that like people like. Just it feels to me like Subway is doing something that's not food sounding, just like they were with the bread and shit, because like that's kind of their MO. And they're so consistent with this, like, it's 100% tuna. It's all tuna, baby. It's tuna all the way down. What are you even saying?
It's 100%. It's not anything but tuna. It's
how could it be anything but tuna? There's so many things that aren't tuna. Oh shit, what is this? Huh. Oh, I got a special report from somebody in the field.
Is it Go Puff?
It appears to be. Oh yeah, this is somebody writing to me from entrenched deep within Subway. Oh yeah, there we go. The title: Operation Centaur Picnic Hot Beef Heist. We got a story for this episode.
I'm sorry, hot beef heist?
That's right.
Okay.
So everybody turn on your fireplace and sit back. We got a short story as written by Kurt and co-edited by Natalie.
Yay!
Once again, the title is Operation Centaur Picnic, the Hot Beef Heist.
Oh, wait. I got it.
Yeah, let me get in here real quick.
Let's see if this is as bad as my brain is making it out to be.
Bet it is. Is it?
It's not as bad now that the other one is gone. Still tastes like a cough drop to me, but.
All right. Only 4 ounces of hamburger per year? A warm, fragrant patina broke out on my brow, like myoglobin from a perfectly seared blue steak, when I turned into Fox News before bed. Not my President Joe Biden had announced somewhere at some point that in order to reduce greenhouse gases, Americans needed to cut back their beef consumption by 99%. Hold on a second. I started reading the first story they sent. God damn it. If you want to get a hot taste of that, you can go back to an old episode. It is excellent. That episode, I believe, is called Joe Biden. Joe Biden golden leg hairs, I want to say.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
This one's weirder. Okay. The title of this story, I knew that they wouldn't use myoglobin again, and I remember that because I read in person this the other story to somebody like 2 months ago. Because I terrorize people with these stories just in my spare time sometimes. All right. False start. I fucked up. I'm sorry, everybody. We don't edit this. This is just how we ended up. This story is called Business Artists TM. There is a note under the title with a little hand and a peach indicating fisting, and it says we're not sorry, so that's the vibe you're going into this with.
Okay. We love unapologetic fisting.
Yeah, I guess. All right.
Episode named.
Hold on a second. Let me just.
Demonetize.
All right.
God damn it. I'm just trying to make money off this podcast that I haven't done in 2.5 months.
Okay.
Alright.
Get that. All right. Subway's board of directors. Each member in a green, yellow, and white suit. Fresh from the cleaners like Subway's finest cold cut meats were. Always the crisp in the hands of their sandwich artists. Sat around a gleaming glass table in a meeting room at Subway headquarters. The lighting was moody, shadowing the walls but lighting up the table. In front of each board member was a foot-long Subway tuna sandwich on glittering silver plate. Have you seen Ava? This is kind of giving me Ava vibes from Seal. Or Sealy, I guess. Each meal lit with its own blindingly bright spotlight. Every mouth was alive and expectant of the sandwich to come. But it wasn't time yet. They were here to discuss business. Tuna business. Their business. Gentlemen, as you know, we have a doozy of a problem, said Subway CEO John Chinsey, pacing before the board. It seems as though the public has figured out that the tuna in our sandwiches is made of ground pangolin scales and reclaimed carpet grounds. They no longer care that it's fucking scrumptious. All they can focus on are the tarantula innards and donor fat. We need a distraction while we can figure out a more convincing fish mulch product without losing money. We need ideas, Gary. What's your pitch to disrupt the Piscine paste market? A nuclear strike on Detroit? That would get people talking. Wait. Nuclear strike on Detroit? That would get people talking. Anyway. Too aggressive and flashy. Paul, impress me. Take tuna off the menu for a while, just until the hype dies down? Ooh, that's a no-go. You're not eating fresh with that one. Frank, do not touch that sandwich. Frank had slowly bent down, and his tongue was nearly touching the gray-pink mass of industrial byproduct. He sat up straight and looked sheepish. He wiped the thick rope of saliva from his chin. The bright lights above made the fluid glitter, gem-like. No one eats until we come up with a plan. Steve, show me why you make the big bucks, buddy. John flashed a wide, fake smile filled with too many teeth. Sell all the zoo animals free in metropolitan areas. Set all the zoo animals free in metropolitan areas. Theatrics only buy us so much time. Guys, I swear to Christ, I will cancel our monthly executive orgies if you dunces can't come up with a decent idea. Don't you get what's on the line here? Do you want empty holes? Or do you want your hole stuffed full of fat dick and Benoit balls? Just like our sandwiches are stuffed with delicious cold cuts. Kevin, do you want empty holes? No, sir, I want my holes packed full. We all do, Kevin. I like your dick in my throat right now, but we can't get it until we fix this problem. Idea, now! Shift the attention to McDonald's, sabotage the nuggets to give people diarrhea, Kevin blurted. See, now we're getting somewhere. Illness is great, but poisoning nuggets on an international scale undetected sounds really cost prohibitive. Who can riff on this, David? A virus like SARS or swine flu. It wouldn't be hard to have our chemical artists synthesize something contagious enough to go global. I mean, they can make house insulation and Gosling taste like salami. A virus can't be too hard, right? David said, fear tinging his voice. David, you're a foot-long genius, John said. You're getting an Eiffel Tower for that. David blushed and lit up. The Eiffel Tower was his favorite. I think they mean the sex position.
I assumed.
Thank you, sir, David said breathlessly. This is perfect! How can anyone focus on our synthetic fish when the whole world is enmeshed in a new disease-based opportunity sphere? Carl, call Erica at the lab. Tell her we have a project for her team, John said, pointing at Carl at the opposite end of the table. But Carl was already dialing the company's research and detainment black site. Gentlemen, now that we have concluded this unpleasant bit of business, we feast, John said, raising his arms, looking to all like a green and gold idol, terrible in his beauty. The board of directors seized their 12-inch atrocities, their teeth gnashing greedily. John smiled. They would all engage in company-mandated intercourse tonight, their bellies full of artificially crafted sandwich and success. All right, that was Business Artists TM.
Honestly, I think the highlight very well written, obviously, as always.
Yeah. Yep. Again, I had not read that previously, so I messed up a couple lines, but
no, I think it was delivered very well. I really like the phrases fish mulch and Piscine paste.
Yeah.
Those are very good. But the highlight for me is knowing that your roommates can hear you or scratch.
Yeah, they absolutely can. So that's something.
Yeah.
What it's like 9 o'clock here. Yeah, they definitely.
Oh, I mean, it's not like quiet hours or anything. I'm just excited.
Thanks. Yeah, it's not just Nick this time. I was a big fan of oh fuck, what was it? I mean, I liked the term 12-inch atrocities. I liked telling the guy he was going to get an Eiffel Tower and him being excited because that's his favorite. Let's see. I'm having trouble finding the thing that I enjoyed the most because I think it was earlier in the story than I was thinking. Anyway, I'm a big fan of the word usage in this one. I really like the board meeting situation. So, full disclosure, I was trying to brainstorm out some kind of story theme, which in the future, it sounds like it's going to be sort of the direction for some of these. Because before, I would just say like, hey, there's this thing going on. I would love some kind of story related to it a little bit. For this one, I specifically requested a companion piece to the Subway story in which the Subway executives were trying to find a way to distract people from their tuna mishaps because it was getting in the way of their orgies. And that's how COVID was started. So
that makes sense.
So it was a corporate strategy to get everybody to synergize with their food instead of call them on it. I mean, as soon as I saw them going to fucking Fox News to try and like do cleanup, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. That's not a good sign usually.
No. Anyway, I have some friends who love Subway. Sorry, but one, it's not tuna.
I have a friend who specifically loves the tuna from Subway. It's what he always gets.
I mean, he or she will keep getting it, but fuck, it's It's a rough
Oh,
one.
he's definitely gonna keep getting it. I don't think that's good.
Oh, he's gonna keep getting, all right.
He's gonna get it, but it's not gonna be fucking tuna.
No, it isn't.
Or fish, I don't think.
It really doesn't seem like it, does it?
Unless it's a fish or like sea animal so horrific. Like, I can't even imagine.
No.
I mean, like, what if it's like chicken? What if it's like fish flavored chicken? That would be kind of nasty.
It would be nasty, but I think that's also a decent guess because that would mean that people who were trying not to eat vegetarian or people who were trying to eat vegetarian couldn't.
Yeah.
So, like, that's totally feasible if they're reflavoring something to be like tuna, but not like something that's potentially dangerous. I mean, that's not out of the question. That's
actually a good guess. I didn't mean for it to be a good guess, but I think it might just be some kind of bird.
Yeah. Squab. They've just got pigeon meat flavored like tuna out there.
You think you're eating chicken of the sea, but you're actually eating chicken of the chicken.
Ugh. God.
Chicken of the land.
If that's what's happening, I bet they try to rebrand and all that. Actually, no. So here's something fucked up, and this actually kind of makes me think you're right. So Subway, the last time they had an outburst, which was like in the late fall, early winter of last year, they had a thing go up. I don't remember exactly, but they had a list of new sandwiches that were a big deal that they were bringing out. And then at the end, they had like 3 sandwiches. One I think was new, and the other 2 were like pre-existing. And then the last thing they talked about was like, and you can always get our 100% tuna sandwiches. Don't listen to the hype. It's still tuna. But those other sandwiches, I believe one of them was a new like turkey sandwich thing that was like, oh, we've got a brand new 100% turkey meat sandwich. Like, you didn't expect us to bring out new sandwiches, but here it is. Now you can get this new turkey meat sandwich whenever you want it. And like, maybe they started selling less tuna and they went, the most obvious answer for this right now is just stop turning it into tuna and sell the turkey on its own.
Shit.
I don't know. Hey, if the future proves us right, remember what you heard here today.
I would love for other people who listen to this podcast to have a similar moment. Like remember when all the Epstein shit was happening? And we all kind of collectively had a moment of like, Jesus fuck, Alex Jones was right about like one thing.
Uh-huh.
That's the feeling I want people to have about our podcast when they find out it was turkey, not tuna.
That's our Alex Jones moment.
I just want one.
I just want to reiterate on your thing. Yes, it could be our Alex Jones moment, but also Alex Jones was just the only person who was talking about pedophiles, and the rest of the news cycle just decided not to talk about it because he had already gone to prison once for child sexual abuse at that point. So it was kind of a like, and Tiger Woods is still good at golf kind of thing. It's just that Alex Jones was talking about it. So I don't want to give him too much credit.
Well, I don't want to give us too much credit. I think this is a very good analogy.
You're actually, yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Honestly, I feel like I'd do the same amount of research as Alex Jones. In terms of journalistic chops, Alex Jones and me, head to head.
Each episode, I do approximately this much. I mean, I do have lots of tabs open and stuff. I read a bunch of stuff, but like, I'm probably about at the same level as Alex Jones too. I think that's about.
I feel like you've surpassed Alex
I mean, when it comes to like pandemic and stuff, where I did like a lot of actual research, absolutely, he does not look at shit most of the time. But he's also a dumb douche. Anyway.
Well, I mean, I'm not a dumb douche. But
hey, we're all dumb douches here.
We're all. I'm
Sometimes
gonna put that on a t-shirt.
Dumb douche would be a great t-shirt, honestly.
We're all dumb douches here.
Fuck, we need to actually. So here's a bit of like housekeeping style stuff. I think I'm gonna make for this podcast that's going up now. I post them on like my Facebook and like on Twitter and stuff. I think I'm going to make a actual Facebook page just to have it out there, so if people search for it, they can go to that page to get the updates.
That's probably overdue.
Yeah, well now, we got theme music. We got to have a place where people can find it, right?
Yeah, now that we've come back from the 2.5 or 2 month hiatus, and we have theme music played into the microphone.
Hey, it's what I got.
More than I did. I'm not criticizing. The only thing I did in the interest of providing content for this podcast is have repeated mental breakdowns. I think that's
work
content enough.
Yeah. Hey, you, in all fairness, you have facilitated lots of what I'm doing in the last like couple of months. So like I think that there's a lot to be said for holding everything up, honestly. Oh, and we didn't fully finish that intro story. What ended up happening is we had people over, you had people over while I was there for New Year's. And then there was a COVID scare, everybody get tested kind of thing.
Somebody got COVID. One person had COVID.
Yes.
Then everybody got tested.
Yeah.
And then it continued to be just that person with COVID and not us.
Yeah. And which means, our vaccines worked, which is great. But then, like, I somehow ended up just pulling it along with me wherever I went. So somebody got COVID. I was at your place. And then it was like, well, we need you to move to the cold basement because, like, we don't know who has it. And, like, this is going to kind of maybe, like, get in the way of stuff. So I came here and I was like, all right, I can start setting up. And then it turned out that it moved here and then they came here. So I just got moved to the next COVID house. So I got to continue wearing a mask inside and I got to keep having just a stark, cold environment, which, to be fair, that's not where I'm at now. Like, this is a very nice place, but for the first couple weeks, it was a little bit rough. Though only so rough, because I did have a cardboard box with a little stand and a Switch sitting on it. And then I was in a blanket and I would play Switch with a controller from just outside of it. So it was fine. Like, I got some quality time with some stuff I wanted to try out, but still. Could have been less ridiculous, I guess. Is all
It altogether was a very ridiculous start to the new year. It really seemed like just one thing after another.
Weirdly, completely appropriate. I also tried to get a bed, and not only did I have to go to the bank to like clear a bunch of stuff up, but then they canceled the bed, and I also like couldn't get another one because they wanted me to pay for the old bed's delivery fees if I got a bed. So I just backed away entirely from that and did something else. And that wasted like 5 days of my time too, of just like, how am I going to get this fucking bed?
No, that entire week was just really
It was
fucked.
weird. Yeah.
Probably from the start, like the COVID thing obviously was obnoxious. We all knew that we were gonna kind of quarantine in our own respective places or whatever.
Yeah.
But that your bed thing happened. Like everyone had incredibly bad luck for like the first 3 days of the new year.
Yeah.
Because
For sure.
Jenny had COVID. Jenny was the one with COVID. Then we all got tested. My test.
Yeah.
When did you get your test? Like a week after?
I got so we went and got tested on Tuesday, and I got my test the following like Sunday.
Yeah, it was like a long time because they told us I even knew that it was taking longer than normal, but I assumed maybe like 4 or 5 days. But still longer.
So we went and got tested. We went and got tested. I got my results the following Sunday, and then I went back to Seattle and came back. And I think you got your test results like when I got back.
Yeah.
So that was
like
the 24th.
2 weeks after.
Yeah.
And I was like,
we got tested on like the 2nd or something. Or no, it was like the 4th. And then it took like 20 days for you to get your results.
It was really, it was bad because I think I waited like 4 or 5 days and then realized, okay, either this is not happening or taking too long. So I went, and now I know this. I went to one of the primary healths down here, and I just asked them to do a rapid test.
Yeah.
And they had results like the same day. Well, so I guess we could have just done that. And
it's cool. There's so much good information out there to get the stuff done.
Like now I know, but it took a while. Like the wait times were really long. The primary health closest to my house had like a 4-hour wait time.
Okay.
And then I went to the one off of State Street, and that one I think was like an hour and a half. So it wasn't horrible, but it was still a pretty long wait for that.
Yeah.
But still, they got me the results like the same day, and I didn't get the results from the other test until like a week after that. But
great.
Neither of us ended up having it, I guess, at any point.
My dry cough belies that I've never gotten a positive COVID test result. And then, like, you've only gotten the one, right, in Alaska?
Yeah, that's the only time I've tested positive. And, like, I knew I had it then. The symptoms matched. And then we flew out, and the day that I got tested, when we flew out, I was testing negative. So it was not that bad. And then here we both tested negative. But this is a really fucking weird start to the year. Like we all had that happen, and then I think it was a third that Alex spun out on the freeway and totaled his car.
Yeah, that was like the same time.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And got his car essentially stolen by a fucking weird tow company.
Well, and unbeknownst to me, my lady friend's car also got fucked up and doesn't work anymore, like in the same period of time.
Really?
Yeah, everybody's beginning of the year got totally like weirded out. Yeah.
I think Alex and I have decided that January of 2022 is a grace period, and nothing counts in January. February is the new start of the year.
Good luck with that.
Which also has been rough because Alex got his new car like last Friday.
Yeah.
He got a flat tire on his way to work on Monday. Like, what happened? What did we do?
There you go. Perfect.
Bad karma. I
keeping the dream alive is what's happening. So these are all individually wrapped. So you're going to get some of these.
That's a great sign.
Yeah, but
that's very promising.
These are also way thicker than I thought. They're like.
I thought they. Oh shit! That's like a full-on biscuit.
Oh. All right. Yeah. Just so the texture of these is in fact like a layered biscuit.
Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see.
And in a way, it's like a very, very thick wheat thin, which I'm loving.
I like that.
Like if you could make a wheat thin into a full-ass biscuit.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Is it like Is it really crunchy or?
So like a biscuit cookie kind of thing. It's like kind of salty, and the outside of it is a little bit crispy, but the inside of it is like fluffy.
Okay. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. And there's a lot of bags of this. So I think when we got to plan a night for it, but when we do a bad movie, good weed, sorry, not weed, this is Idaho, we would never have weed. We're just going to smoke cigarettes. That's what we like. And then...
we smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, we love them. And then we'll get screwdrivers to go with this. So planned out. We'll figure out a night for it. That'll be great.
Fantastic. And you can try these nasty ass Moscow mules. Why? I don't understand why this is the #1 bestseller. I really don't like them.
Yeah, that's weird. I think so. In people I've hung out with here since I've gotten here, Moscow mules have been talked about several times, and I think that might be like the in thing just right now.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's why it's popular, because I've seen like a lot of people just go for Moscow mules. Oh.
I see a lot of people doing that. I just assumed it was like the basic like go-to. Just
I think
anyway, but
like in Seattle, Moscow mules were the go-to as of like fucking 4 years ago. So
yeah, well, Boise is Seattle 4 years ago.
It's not that good, but it is similar in a way.
I didn't say it was good.
Yeah.
I said it is.
All right. Do you have a topic from the top that you want to get into? Oh, Jesus.
What the fuck did I write down? I'm forgetting my own fucking topics.
Is this?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
1 second. Is this Ada County?
Yeah.
Do you want to know the last updated 2 days ago? There's 1,000 COVID deaths here. They've had.
Wait. Yesterday or?
No. In general, in Idaho, they've had 400,000 cases of COVID.
And then 1,000 deaths.
No, that's in Ada County. They've had 4,500 deaths in Idaho.
Oh.
Also, look at this fucking chart. Over here is current.
Wow.
That's just new cases averaged out over the course of current February 7th. Wait. Okay, as of February 4th, we had over 1,000 new cases a day. Hey, we beat it. I'm glad we did it.
We we all came together and punched COVID in the face. With our patriot fists.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Emboldened by our Second Amendment rights.
So, in late January, the 7-day average of new cases was almost 700,000 in the U.S. Anyway, we beat it.
Glad we beat it.
Just an update. We've had 1 million deaths in the United States, and we've had 77.5 million cases. Our population is only 350 million or so. So, like, something to take into account. That is, considering Fauci came out and said, like, we're not going to have to wear masks soon or whatever. That is, like, or, like, now. I think he said, like, we're not going to have to do that anymore because businesses got a business.
Yeah.
The 1% or, like, 0.67 or whatever the fuck their original, like, projection for how many people would get COVID and, like, have it be a big problem. I think that got blown up. Like, I think that ended up being actually pretty low. So that's cool. All of these anti-masker things of like, it doesn't kill anybody. Fuck you. It killed way more people than they said it would. So that's fun. Anyway, I don't know. I wanted to check that out as part of my thing here because I know last week at the end of the week or whatever, they were like, nah, it's all good now. Because we beat it.
It's over.
It's over.
COVID is over. Do you remember at the beginning of this whole thing when Trump was like, worst case scenario, like 100,000 people die. It's not that big of a deal.
Also, it's not that big of a deal. That's a fun start. But yeah, I do remember when he was like, it's not gonna, we're the US, it's not gonna affect us, who cares? And then it big affected us.
It's not a big deal, guys. Chill out.
I'm gonna have a sour cream and onion chip from not the US about it.
Do you think this and Powerade would be good mixed together?
Probably not, but you should do it. And also, these are fucking dope.
They look really good. I want to try them. Also, I don't think I've had a chip from the Asian market that has been like not like, even the bad ones have still been more interesting or better than every chip I've had here.
All right, I've binder clipped this. We are gonna eat these as well when we do movie stuff. So
hell yeah.
These will be ready. This is some sour cream and oniony ass sour cream and onion. It's quite good.
That's exciting. I'll bring my Tupperware full of horrible crabs.
Oh, good. I think so. Jenny's going to be gone for like the time when we're going to do this, which is a shame because I would love to make.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. She's leaving. She's going to Seattle.
Yep.
Leaving us all behind.
Having some good seafood. What a bitch.
Bitch.
Wow, bitch.
No, this is still better. I don't think I like this Moscow Mule. I don't think I like it.
You got to bring the Moscow Mule and the fucking Gatorade powder, and I will see what's up.
Yeah, I'll do that. All right, I have to pee.
A Moscow Mule, hold on. A Moscow Mule filled with blue Gatorade powder is very obviously a blue ox. I think we got something.
God.
Okay, go to the bathroom. I didn't mean that.
You made me sit here for that?
Yeah, I did. Well, I got friends online. I'm just going to get back in here in case you want to hear it again. Since this is going to be split into 2 episodes, maybe you just want to hear it again. I'll just play it again. That's
3, 2, 1, go! Do your best and good luck.
Man, while I was making this, I forgot where to find the actual mixer in this program. So I was like trying to figure out ways to preserve the like dumb chiptune sound I was going for by like leveling things down and then like adjusting them so they still stood out. Man, it was a pain in the ass. And then like last night or this morning, I was like, let me check it again. I just want to make sure that I know how to play this and stuff without it being like an issue. I went in and I was like, well, I didn't try this one thing, and I hit it and it just brought up like the spread of like different screens I could take, and there was just a fucking full ass mixer sitting there for me to like adjust. So I went in and like changed it out. The version of this before I did this, it was fine, but it was not amazing. The mixing was terrible. But while we're still here, I'll just put in this garbage and let it run for a second. I might have to turn this down. But we'll just kind of vibe here for a second while we wait. I'm not an amazing musician, but I do really enjoy working on this kind of stuff. So it's like I can finally like sit in a room, like work on some of the stuff, and like, for as like kind of obnoxious as Idaho is, it's got an okay vibe sometimes. I am white, so it's a little bit more clear than it would be for some people. Oh, you're back. Sorry, I was playing people some of my old stuff. All right.
Your old stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't remember what I titled this thing. Probably something not useful. Yeah. I think that was just, it's OSCE comp. I think that was just me working with the oscillators. Anyway, there you go. That's probably closer to what the next one's going to sound like, because I don't do a ton of chiptune because I do a lot of like manual notes as opposed to like mapping them out, and manual notes get kind of like shittier in chiptune because you want it to be kind of robotic. If you listen back to that track that I made, it's already not very good in terms of chiptune. But anyway, you have a good time?
Yep.
Fantastic.
I got my Powerade and my Moscow Mule and my Power Mule.
Power Mule. Did you hear about the Masked Singer? God damn it.
Oh my god, so bad.
Did you hear about the Masked Singer? Speaking of so bad.
No.
If you were gonna say have a Masked Singer, and then they pull off their helmet or whatever, and like 2 of the 4 judges leave, just like don't want to talk to them and just leave, who do you think that Masked Singer would be? This is from like a week ago.
I have no idea.
Rudy Giuliani!
Oh my god. What the fuck? Wait, I thought the whole point of that show was that it's just like a person.
Nope.
It's just literally anyone?
I guess so.
Wait,
I don't...
is it him singing?
Yes. And I don't think he was the first one kicked off either.
God damn it.
Yeah, so if we looked for it, which I don't really feel like it, we could find videos of masked Rudy Giuliani singing in like a costume of some kind from 2022.
He seems too like old and frail to be doing that.
He seems like he would die if somebody put a costume on him. He can't even keep clothes on when he's around like a minor. How's he gonna keep a costume on to sing?
Well, like keep his hair from melting, you know.
Yeah, how's he gonna keep his hair's not gonna just stay on when he's in a costume.
No.
Anyway.
It's just melting all down his neck and face. What in the fuck? What is God? There's nothing more American than putting these stupid fucking people on reality television. You know what? So I have been watching Big Brother. I've been watching all of the old seasons of Big Brother.
All right.
I've never seen it, and I'm catching up.
Is American Big Brother?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And well, I'm catching up / watching the ones that are happening now. So Celebrity Big Brother started or is about to start. I think it just started. But there were rumors that Sean Spicer was going to be one of them.
Oh,
and then he wasn't. But
I mean, that's probably good.
But what I guess I shouldn't be surprised because the whole last administration was just like reality TV micro celebrities, but God, it's so fucking upsetting. There's nothing more American than putting just like D-list celebrities back on television on reality TV shows about dancing and singing and then like pretending they didn't kill people through like gross negligence or just horrible unethical behavior.
Like, we talk about how bad COVID is, and it is, but like there's a lot of people who have done like a lot of murders that we just kind of talk about like it's fine. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is a fucked up country, like for sure. And like people that I have like very sympathetic views with, and like we agree on pretty much everything having to do with like social stuff. Still, like the word communism will like seem kind of like hard to deal with for them sometimes. Like this country's real big on propaganda, and those shows are like excellent propaganda for fucking wine moms and like grandpas. Like they fucking love that shit. Mm-hmm.
Like if you can put anybody on a reality television show about putting them inside a costume and making them sing, that means that they're cool and approachable and nice. And
they've got like a sense of humor. They're probably like a decent person. You wouldn't just put Hitler in a costume and have him sing, right? Nobody would do that. Goebbels wouldn't just put on a bear costume and sing Like a Feeling or whatever. You wouldn't sing your favorite Pure Energy songs.
Dude, that's what was missing from Nuremberg. That's the only reason they're not around still. We didn't
More
have
than
a
a
reality.
feeling.
Someone just turned the Nuremberg trials into a reality television show. It's just fucking Adam Levine smashing his button and turning around and say, "Hell yeah!"
So I like never watch those shows, but I have seen compilations of just the chairs turning and stopping, because they'll turn around just like whoa, like they're like hydraulics are like kind of rough.
Oh no.
Nice. I'm about to make the same mistake, so I'm doing half of this is bad Chardonnay, because the next thing I got to talk about is really soul crushing, but we're gonna get through it.
Does it have anything to do with the police shooting in Minneapolis earlier this week?
It doesn't.
Okay.
So this is half bad Chardonnay and half Mountain Dew snapped.
That seems not bad.
Let me finish this so there's no respite. All right, that's gone. I can't rely on that to help. Actually, tell me about the shooting.
Respite. What?
Tell me about the shooting. I didn't hear about it. Fuck.
Is it really
Tell me about the. No.
Oh god, this is the fucking worst situation to be discussing these topics. Oh my god, I'm so sorry to everybody.
I'm not.
What? That's fine. Well, I also don't know a ton, or I guess I did not know about this as it was happening, because I guess the shooting happened on the 3rd.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yep.
You seem really okay.
So there was a shooting on the 3rd.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I'm just going to pull up the Wikipedia page because it's going to be easier for me to walk through this.
Yeah, I didn't hear about this one. This is kind of weird.
I also really did not. And I thought it was because I had been like and I think it probably was. I've been pretty checked out of like news in general.
Yeah, this year's been enough without like keeping real hard up on the news.
Yeah. But this I feel like this is not getting a lot of coverage because it's particularly egregious and just so obviously stupid bad. Okay, so a black man named Amir Locke, in Minneapolis, was murdered by the cops. Basically, how this happened, they executed a no-knock warrant at his house.
Cool, always a good idea.
Yeah, at like 6 something in the morning, super early in the morning. They woke him up. He turned, like, they had like their master key or whatever the fuck, so they let themselves into his apartment. And he turned around. He was in a blanket. He was wrapped in a blanket because he was sleeping on his couch. He turned around. He had a gun. He turned around with the gun, and then they shot him and killed him. Or one guy shot him and killed him.
All right.
So, from my understanding of like the series of events, is that like obviously it was reported at first as like a police-involved shooting ended in the death of this dude who like had a gun pointed in the direction of police. They thought is obviously how it was reported at first. And then they were like, we're not going to release the body cam footage until like maybe after this goes to trial, or we're not going to do it. And then they did. And the body cam footage shows this guy asleep on his couch, like sleeping, wrapped in a blanket. And then they burst into his house, like 8 people burst into his house at like 6 something in the morning. like screaming and yelling at him with guns. And he turns around and he has a gun, or he picks up a gun, but it's not like pointed at the police. And when he picks it up, it's visible in the footage that he has good enough like trigger discipline that his hand is not even on the trigger of the gun.
So he's like holding it like you're supposed to? Like,
yeah.
He's got his finger on the side? Right.
Like, he picks up, his finger's not even on the trigger. It's not even pointed in the direction of the police. And if I remember correctly, it's like 2 seconds from when they burst in the door, say, police, blah, blah, blah. He wakes up, grabs his gun, and then they shoot him. And he dies on the way to the hospital. Or at the hospital.
What you're describing to me is like a scene in a movie with unjust cops. Like, it's not even like...
It's so obviously bad that you would think that it's like pretty beyond like excuse. But of course, I mean, Fox News is of course doing the Fox News thing.
Yeah, well, these I'm sure they're talking about him like he's not an American, and I'm sure they're talking about it like he came flying at the cops, like normal.
Yeah, I mean, of course they're framing it like, well, he had a gun, and they have to make a split-second decision about whether or not they're gonna like save their own lives. And I was watching Vosh's stream go over a lot of this, and Vosh is like super staunchly pro Second Amendment, whatever. So
sure.
He likes guns, he likes shooting guns, whatever. And he made the point that I thought was pretty interesting, that like functionally, and I feel like this stands with pretty much every single no-knock warrant story that I hear about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if someone barges into your house and you have no fucking idea what's happening, as like a God-fearing American, what you're supposed to do is like pick up your fucking guns and like protect yourself. Or that's
sure.
Like, is that my first impulse? Probably not. I don't think I'm gonna like want to scramble for my guns but like I think the general sentiment is like, I have the right to protect my shit, and I'm gonna pick up my guns and do whatever. Like, I'm gonna protect myself. Like,
pinko commies like us are not gonna be like, well, I got my gun ready, but we do still have a knife at our desk. Like, I
do have a knife.
We're still going to be like upset that somebody just busted in.
Right. I mean, you can't just like come into my house and I'll be fine with it.
Right.
But yeah, every time I hear about these stories, it is a similar thing that unfolds. It's like they bust in there. It's always like 2 seconds or like point something seconds until somebody is fucking shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was especially interesting to watch, Vosh's stream go over this, because he watched the body cam footage when they released it. And it does show him having better trigger discipline than the cops. Because if the cops walk in and they're immediately shooting, and this guy just woke up from a dead sleep, grabs his gun, and is still somehow not just like shooting everything he sees. Like, how, when you're startled and you're scared,
and you're in your own home,
and you are in your own home, like, this doesn't. Oh, best part, because in my brain it doesn't even make sense that this is something you would care about, but I guess for conservatives this is a problem. He wasn't even on the fucking warrant. Like, he wasn't even the person that they were looking for. Right. He was just in the apartment.
Yeah,
so,
he had the literal in the wrong place and black standard reason for getting shot by
wrong place, wrong time,
wrong color.
Yeah.
Great.
Basically. And
I can't believe that didn't make the news. How is that like not a thing?
That's what I'm also very surprised by. Like I thought that I had just been excessively checked out because I feel like I generally have been. I've been dealing with my own shit, but there's not a lot about this like being talked about right now, which is crazy because even there, I don't remember the exact name of the organization, but Vosh was talking about this on his stream. There's a gun rights organization that is very right-leaning. That it has taken, I don't even know if I've said his name, Amir Locke is his name. They've taken Amir's side in, as they should, in the matter, because like that is functionally, like, if a bunch of guys bust into your house at 6 in the morning and you jump up and grab a gun, you don't even shoot anyone, and they fucking execute you on the spot, you functionally don't have a Second Amendment right, because you didn't fucking do anything other than own a gun.
I mean, like, it sucks that, like, Arbery and Taylor and Floyd didn't get them on their side because they weren't holding weapons when it happened, but, like...
I don't even know that this one will... I don't even know that this situation will really even sway people. I think the only thing that's really gotten them on their side is just, you know, like the stand your ground laws or whatever. But even then, like, if you look up the Fox News coverage of it, it's totally the same as George Floyd and like anyone else who didn't have a gun. It's all the same shit. It's just like character assassination from the get-go. It's fucking infuriating to watch the parents. So this guy was 22.
Oh, cool, yeah. Great.
His parents, like, the first thing they had to do, of course, was like go to the news and be like, he has a completely clean criminal record. Like, he hasn't done anything, which is not, like, that's not something anyone else has to do. Right. And by anyone else, I mean, like, white people.
Yes, I understood what you meant.
Just for everyone else, to be very clear. Anyway. I felt like that wasn't getting a lot of coverage, and I had only really heard about it until Vosh covered it, and I know Vosh even waited a few days to talk about it as well. So I think it all happened on like the 2nd and the 3rd. So somewhat old news.
Yeah, I would not have... The 2nd and the 3rd, like, I was looking through, like, news stuff and I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's super not on the news. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but...
Yeah, we know why, but still.
I know why, but it's upsetting.
Oh, that reminds me. I have this.
I was wondering, I've been looking for that.
Yeah. I just felt it on the back of the chair. And I was like, oh yeah, I need to remember to mention that. So, it's slightly different. We got about a half hour left of recording time available. So I'm just going to go over the two things that I had sort of preloaded here. One, totally different topic. So I've been playing the new weird like offshoot Pokemon game that came out. That's called Legends Arceus, I think. It's a very Japan title. The big thing here is that instead of being a like video game where you're looking down at everybody and you're like walking around and like changing screens to do stuff, it's a game that looks more like a like a third person perspective, like a Fortnite, or like if you hold down a button, you're in first person, and it's like open spaces, and you go like catch and fight Pokemon in like real time. You're not like changing scenes or anything like that. So that's been interesting. It's weird that it took like so many years of Pokemon existing for them to make a game that is more open. Even it's like less open than Minecraft, but it's still like open. And it's weird playing something like that in 2022.
Yeah.
But sort of coming off the end of that, Nintendo did a Nintendo Direct. I feel the need. I need to mention that I worked for Nintendo. I am a dork, but I also have like, I keep track of that stuff. I gotta put credentials out there. They did a Direct in which, so up until not that long ago, they have been putting out all of these announcements of things that I worked mostly in virtual console spaces about things that I had worked on or seen other people in the department working on that were really exciting because I like old video games. And they finally put out, like yesterday, a version of Earthbound and Earthbound Zero, which they're calling like Earthbound Beginnings, that you can play on their online service, which for me is super exciting. I know that game came out in like fucking the 90s, but those games are really cool. They're basically like Earthbound, the big one that got big in the US. A lot of people started but didn't finish. And the reason why I think people should actually play it is because it is a commentary from Japan towards the US on childhood and childcare as perceived by Japan. And the end of the game is essentially dealing with the US's opinions of abortion in a really abstract way. And like, it's a game for kids from the 90s, but it is like, in the way that it looks at the US through a Japanese lens, it kind of pulls out a lot of stuff that is really interesting about like the perception of America from outside of it. That I think is really worth people like putting their time into, and it's written well. But you literally fight like a fetus at the end of that game, like a celestial fetus. It's interesting. And you can like kind of back out of most of the fights in that game and find ways to like just not deal with it, which I also think is kind of cool. But that whole series is interesting. It's like a series of various takes on like almost like childhood trauma in a way, but like with a leaning in on like ephemera and like things that are kind of nostalgic, as opposed to the game being just nostalgic itself, like playing Mario, a lot of people go back to. This is a game that's like looking at nostalgia as a thing and like talking about it a little bit. Anyway, those came out, and that's like the better part of a decade ago. I saw those games getting worked on and had not seen them really show up. They came out on the Wii as a virtual download, but it was like, I think towards the end of when the Wii was out, and then it disappeared, and then it came out on the 3DS, but only if you owned specifically a new 3DS, which was the type that came out before it was like discontinued as a active platform. So like Earthbound has forever been like sort of this weird half like half not existing kind of like game. So it's cool that it is playable now. And part of that Direct was putting out a lot of like announcements for games that are literally like, for the next full 2-year span, this game's going to have active services guaranteed. So like there's a 2-year span at least where you can start and play Earthbound if you want to for basically no money. It's like $20 a year to play it, and play like the 50 or so other games they offer online. And like that's a cool opportunity. For reference, like when I was in college, Earthbound was available at like old used stuff shops, and it cost like $300 minimum to get a copy of it. So like it's kind of been a hard game to get a hold of. I have Earthbound 1, 2, and 3 bootlegs that work through like the. So there's the Game Boy DS. This is a Game Boy SD. It's an old advanced system with a backlight. And that's like the only way that I have these games. And they're fan translated, so they're like kind of fucked up. So I'm even gonna really like enjoy being able to actually get into these. Anyway, that's your video game news, I guess. Hey, if you like Kirby, there's some cool stuff happening and stuff like that, but whatever.
I have short video game news as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you do have some video game news.
A little bit. So I bought a PS4 a few days ago, I guess last weekend. And I did end up getting Night in the Woods.
Nice. You took that recommendation? Have you played it?
I did. Yes. I think right now I'm on part 3 or 4.
Okay. Do you like it so far?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I do. Okay. There have been a couple of parts that are like
relatable.
A little bit relatable, yeah. I do really like it so far. I really like the art style, and I think the
art
dialogue.
Is great. Yeah.
The art is really good, and I think the dialogue's been written pretty well in a way that's funny.
The main character is a jackass in exactly the same way that I kind of feel like I am a lot of the time, so it's a good writing style.
They do a really good job of making the main character relatable. I like her. I'm still trying to remember what exactly is going on right now. It's been a few days since I played it. I don't remember, but I really like it. I think the like dream sequences are really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I've played through a couple of different dream sequences where you find the whole level is basically you have to find like a musician in a tower. Mm-hmm. You find like 4 of them, and then that's the end. And then there's like this big boss looking thing that comes up, but then it just kind of like dissolves into sparkles, and so do you. And
yeah,
I'm sure I'll understand that in the future.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, especially the conversation with the parents. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
God. Damn. Yeah.
Have you played anything else?
Not yet. There have been a couple of other games I've been looking at. I looked at like a bunch of lists of the top PS4 games that people enjoyed or whatever. They're never really. They don't sound great. Like Night in the Woods was on that list.
It is.
Recommended that to me.
Night in the Woods shows up on lists, but there's a lot of games that show up on those lists that are not things I would see you playing at all.
Yeah, I am into games more for an interesting storyline than anything else. Like, I like games like The Last of Us because they have a compelling series of events and a compelling storyline and good characters. Mm-hmm. But like other games, not so much. The only other one I was looking at so far, which is kind of the opposite of that, because I haven't heard anything about really the storyline or the characters. But I've been looking at getting Ghost of Tsushima.
So I like Ghost of Tsushima a lot.
It just looks really pretty.
It's really
And
fucking pretty.
It looks really interesting to play.
So, that is a game I would suggest. I hadn't thought of it when you were originally asking. You are gonna have to get okay. Like, you can play it on whatever mode. I think there's a mode where it's a little bit more lenient, which is more fun. If you're not, like, for me, I have it kind of boosted up to like harder difficulties because I like losing. So I like to have things be like kind of tough on purpose. But there's a system in that game that isn't too bad, but it does want you to like really pay attention when somebody's like coming in to attack and have you like kind of parry it and stuff like that. But in general, you can play that game a bunch of ways, and it's fun. Like, the archery is fun. There's a lot of things you can do in it. Everything looks great, and like, it's atmospheric as hell. So like, I would definitely, that is a really good one if you're looking for something to just kind of like lose yourself in for a while.
I think that's probably one of the next ones.
Cool.
I'll try after. And it was just to get kind of like a varied experience. I haven't played a lot of games to the end, so
I haven't beaten it yet. That is a game that I literally play kind of like what you're describing, where I'll like walk around in like tall grass. I go find things so I can like build new hats and shit, but I'm not like barreling towards the end or anything. It's very pretty.
Yeah, I've heard that about it a lot. That it's an interesting. I've heard that it's also for a game that is like more like fighting centric, I guess. That there is still a lot of kind of open world potential, like a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah.
Other than that,
there's a fair amount of that. Like, the way you approach stuff is completely open, which is nice. And you have a horse. You can do dumb stuff with the horse. You can, like, they give you a lot of options for different things you can get to, like, advance. So, like, when you're starting off, you have, like, a sword, and you find a bow, I think, and that's, like, it. But, like, at a certain point, I think you can, like, throw a bunch of different stuff. I want to say there's, like, weird distractions and, like, poisons and things you can use. You can, like, get a bunch of, like, things to just kind of fuck with the environment around you in that, which is pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to try that one. Other than that, I don't know that there's been a lot that, I mean, in the ones that you suggested to me, I don't know that there's been a lot that's like super piqued my interest. Yeah. So, if anyone that listens to this, any recommendations, anyone on my Discord server that has recommendations, because I don't feel like going through an interrogation of like what genres I like, just listen to this instead.
I would say if you get a chance, if it is on sale, and it preferably is the version that has, it'll be like the deluxe version or whatever. Fallout 4 is a fantastic game to play if you just want to get like stuck in a place for a while.
Okay, that's okay. That's fine that you say that, because Alex actually has Fallout 4. He borrowed it from a friend, so
nice.
Maybe I will do that.
Fallout 4 is one of those games where, like, there's a lot of stuff saying, like, oh, you should solve stuff. You should go do this. I don't play it like that at all, and I've had way more fun with it than when I was trying to, like, beat it. And it has this aspect of it that I actually ended up spending a ton of time with, which is you can build a base and then you can have people show up if it's successful. Because like the idea of it is there's bases scattered or places where bases could be scattered all over, like, what it's like, Philadelphia, or I forget where it is. Yeah, it's East Coast or whatever. There's all of these places where if you clear out like the raiders or the monsters or whatever's there, you can then start like a little farm and start like building up stuff. And it's kind of like, it's not Minecraft, but it's got like a big list of like things that you can set down. So like you can set down maybe an empty house, or you can set down walls and floors and stairs and build your own houses and shit. And then like set up like places to get water, guns, like turrets, all kinds of stuff. And the safer and better like water and food access and like stores and stuff like that you build, the more people show up, and then you can have them like start like setting up shops and like doing all this stuff. So Fallout 4 is one of those games where there's so much side content that if you never do the storyline, you're fine. Like, that's a game where I got to the point where the story was like, hey, here's some big stuff you got to deal with. And I was like, this storyline sucks. So I went and did other stuff. And it was still like one of my favorite games of that chunk of time. Like, it was really good, but the game story and like characters and stuff they made are terrible. And I don't even worry about that shit because I got my other stuff going on. And then like,
good to hear.
It has a lot of freedom to like do whatever you want, which I think is good for any sort of like.
Yeah, I like that. I like that kind of shit. I don't like adhering to a super strict campaign or anything like that.
It also has something that I think is very important, which is you can like click a stick and play from first person or third person, and it doesn't give a shit which is
that's cool.
Nice.
Like that.
But yeah, that's definitely a good one.
Yeah, I think that'll probably be, if not Ghost of Tsushima, then like probably that will be the next one to play. I have to pee again.
Okay. You know what? We're both going to go pee. So I'm going to just hit this button, and we'll be back in a second.
Fantastic.
going to be closing this down in like probably 10 to 15 minutes. But when Madison gets back, I'm just going to go over some stuff. It's real stupid. I'll probably end up going over this more next week. But it's worth sticking around for if you like dumb shit. Speaking of dumb shit, I gotta turn this off. I was not expecting to go out and I almost hit somebody else in the shower. So that would have been, not like I would have walked in on them, but like I share a bathroom with one other person and they were just getting done. And that would have been uncomfortable if I had not had access. So lucky me. Getting messages from people. So I've got 3 screens in front of me. It's actually kind of interesting, like having this much access. I've got 4 screens in front of me. Hey, what's up?
Yep. Just this double IPA.
Great. We both have our terrible drinks. All right. So we're in the last like 10 to 15 minutes. I was just saying, I got one more dumb thing to touch on. I'm probably going to look more into it. I looked into it a fair amount. But it was one of my topics, so I want to make sure I get it in. What do you like most about NFTs?
Do I
Is it
have
like-
to have an answer?
Is it like the good art or the like responsible usage? Or so
so much to choose from. I don't know. I think my favorite part is that Eric Andre is selling them now.
God damn it. That's actually kind of a bummer. Anyway, so well, so is Nolan North, or there's like video game voice actors that a lot of people are like, oh no, they're pretty cool people, and they all of a sudden start selling NFTs, and it's like, I know that's not like, it doesn't mean you're a bad person, but it does mean that you're like not a very like conscious person when it comes to what you're doing.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's just a bummer.
So I just want to go over some NFT stuff real quick. As a reminder, I will totally probably say all of this stuff again next week.
Yeah.
NFTs and like Bitcoin, all that stuff in general, are just a less regulated, which isn't even saying that much, version of the stock market. It's all about valuation. It's all about like what other people think something is going to be worth, or more likely what they think they can make worth more for themselves if they pump up something. That's how the stock market works. That's part of the reason why we're all in this capitalist hellhole, and it's part of the reason why people are able to like keep like restraints over a lot of other like healthcare or things like that would really help people, is by saying like, no, the market will figure it out, which everybody's heard that phrase. It's never true. The only thing the market figures out is how to keep rich people rich. And also like, we've been trying to get healthcare for like fucking 60 years in this country, and it's never fucking happened. Anyway, so NFTs in general, I'm just gonna have a couple of like refreshers because I think it's worth noting, and people forget about what NFTs are or don't listen one time and they might this time. A lot of NFT valuation is, and I was talking to my roommates about this recently too, and I was also trying to explain to Jenny how they work, and kind of came upon something that's worth like interrogating further. But like, if something like Ethereum, which is the basis for like, well, I guess like Ethereum itself would be the like gold in this situation, even though it's based on people having access to the blockchain and all that shit. And Bitcoin and all the other coins that are based on Ethereum are the currencies. So like that's the gold standard being Ethereum, the money being those things like Dogecoin, Bitcoin, all that shit. That is like the structure of it. It's the same structure as all other money. And in the same way, the stock market is just playing off the idea of like, who thinks that this is going to be worth more going into the future? Who thinks that these things are better? Now, the reason why I'm bringing this stuff up again, and the reason why I want to also mention things like most NFT sales that are huge sales are done through mock auctions. Like you can look that up, but that's an idea that's been present throughout monetary history of people paying for things that they themselves already own, but not saying that they're the ones buying it, so that they can make it seem like it's more worth money. And then once somebody essentially building up an auction, selling things over and over, and then once they have made it seem like it's worth enough money by essentially spending no money, just paying themselves over and over, somebody can come in and pay them this money that they were like trying to say it was worth, and then they take that money and run. Like that's a very common thing that's constantly happening in the like NFT and Bitcoin world. It's all the same garbage. It isn't broken up by the government because it doesn't hurt the government. It's the same bullshit as money. It's just people doing schemes over and over again. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to like our government structure. That's like the other thing they try to sell is the idea of like Bitcoin breaking up like the stranglehold money has on us. It's not true. All that setup is to say, first of three things I want to mention, actually maybe four things. Jimmy Fallon had fucking Paris Hilton on, and they shared.
Oh, it wasn't Booble, it was Paris Hilton.
No, it was Paris Hilton.
I got Paris Hilton mixed up.
I mean, Paris Hilton's probably a better person, but not by much. They both bought those stupid fucking monkey NFTs that literally already the person who originally made those, or one of the people, already took the money and ran, and another person stepped in and said like, hey, we're going to give you some credits towards getting your next monkey. Like, that monkey's still yours. Don't worry about it. They literally already had the whole scheme happen and then tried to act like it didn't. And people are buying it. And then fucking Jimmy Fallon, who's like the most liberal shill ever, has the fucking monkey NFT that he bought on his show and has Paris Hilton come on with her monkey NFT for them to compare and contrast and talk about how cool they are. It's so fucking stupid. So that's thing number one. Is like my jokerification when it comes to things is really like mounting with that shit. And then I heard about the continuing bullshit with NFT fraction marketing of art. There's still a fucking art market where they're like taking paintings, putting them in a hole, and like selling fractions of it to people who want fake money for real money. And like, they're just giving money to people who are essentially hiding art from everybody else. Like, it's even worse than like some of the big gallery systems where it's like, well, we own this Van Gogh now. We're just going to put it in a back room and you can see it once every 3 years. It's like worse than that, where they're like, no, you can see a JPEG of it, but we're burying this shit. And you can like prospectively buy portions of it to sell to other rubes later. So that's all bullshit. And that stuff I already knew about. And then Natalie fucking told me about this angering shit. It's called like Vint. Fucking goddamn
I
it.
feel like I've heard of this. Wait.
I might have
this
yelled
isn't
it at you at
news.
some point. I think I might have sent you a cut down JPEG of this shit in your messages. Their beginning of their website is truly democratized wine investing. So like,
That's a fun sentence.
If you don't fucking care about art, well, that's okay. They've got the ability for you to invest in wine that they'll put in a wine cellar that you can just say, hey, I own a piece of this wine now. I'll give you money for that. Fucking idiots. So they're already like fucking prospective time sharing out wine so that you can try and get people to give you money for that bullshit. And then I heard maybe the most angering version of this so far, which is fucking Fly Fish Club. What do you think Fly Fish Club is?
Do they send you flies on a monthly subscription?
No, because that would be a product. So, Fly Fish Club is a restaurant that you can buy a membership in 2 or more levels of, in which you're allowed to timeshare space at a restaurant. You're basically saying, I want to be able to make reservations in the future, and I will buy into your NFT restaurant so that I have the option to do that. And the whole point of it, which is both the most angering thing ever and also exactly what NFTs are in the most like direct way, it is a membership to a restaurant that is exclusive. And the point of it is that that membership, if it is continually talked about, becomes more and more like desired by the outside world. And as long as they can talk up the Fly Fish Club forever and ever, then the people who have the ability to go with their membership to the Fly Fish Club can then sell their membership to another person with a blockchain protected membership, I guess, to another person for even more money so that they can start going, talk about it and raise the value of this restaurant and its memberships. It is the most like Ponzi scheme garbage, like, but it's exactly what NFTs are. You just have a thing that is inherently worth nothing that you just make other people go like, well, why can't I see it? And then you sell them the option to go see it for more money and keep doing it. And the people who own it just get more and more and more valuation because who gives a shit, I guess. Anyway, I will probably talk more about that. I will probably talk more about Vint and Fly Fish Club and all that garbage in the future. But I just wanted to remind people that NFTs are still popular. They're still destroying the environment because you need energy to make it, and it doesn't matter where the energy comes from. So a lot of it's coal energy and all that shit. And now I gotta go.
So good news.
I just wanted to get that in at the end, yell at people about that shit before we're done with the podcast.
No, that's good. I think anyone who's made it to the end deserves to be just screamed at. They probably like it, honestly.
Great.
Yeah. You like that?
Hey, do you like that?
You deserve it if people listen.
Oh man, wine versus S&P performance starting with $100. It's all the way up to $350. That's amazing. Okay. Well, we gotta go. This has gotta end.
Yeah.
Look forward to our review of the Eternals. It's right on time, everybody.
Yeah, as is everything we do, very timely, but you know.
Yep.
Continue to expect that from us.
Yep, continue.
Continue, please.
All right. Well, I'm going to hit this button. It's been a good podcast. I guess.
It's been great. Oh, we have outro music? Wow.
Sure.
Uh,
Have a good week, everybody. Don't drink what we drink because it's all bad. Except this. This is
Looks
fantastic.
good. Yeah, I do want to try this. You have to say your thanks before you say my thanks.
Oh, fuck. What do I say?
Good job.
Oh! Pajazzers and McClunky. Fuck, it's been too long.
It's been a really long time. But we got on thoughts, obviously.
Obviously.
Fucking idiots.